Do audio engineers struggle with relationships because they are audio engineers, or do audio engineers struggle with relationships because people who struggle with relationships gravitate towards being an audio engineer?
That's a question I am not qualified to answer, Chris.
Yeah, nor am I. But I will say, this is a tough industry to make it in. You have to be tenacious and driven and single-minded. And if you're not, and you're easily sort of like distracted, like you're going to get rolled over, in my opinion. And so people like that, like you and I are definitely both like struggle with focusing on an issue too much.
Yeah,
for sure. And if you're that type of person, then yeah, audio is a viable career path for you, because you have to be singularly focused while there's so many distractions in the room and so many places that you can drop the ball. So I think that there is sort of an issue there where we don't have just normal average people with any level of success as an audio engineer. We have obsessive people that make it on any level, and those obsessive people tend to struggle with relationships.
Yep, I can speak from experience here as someone who, when I encounter a problem, I'm naturally a problem solver. If I come across a problem, my mind works in a way that I immediately start trying to solve that problem. The problem comes, which creates another problem, which is when I'm trying to problem solve and I'm like so head first into an issue, I tend to tune out literally everything in my life. I will ignore texts, which I still do all day long. During work hours, I still ignore my texts all day. I will let relationships kind of wither and die. If it's an issue where like I'm trying to solve a problem or do something that takes a long time, I'll let friendships kind of fade away. Naturally, that's just the way I tend to be. That's my struggle. And until I really finish the project or finish the thing, my mind does not come out of it and allow me to focus on those around me. And so that's something I still to this day struggle with. And there are things that I do to kind of counter that, but I'd say that it's taken me years to get to the point where I even knew to acknowledge that that was an issue. When I was younger, and why I was single for 6 years in a row, was because I didn't know that was a problem. I just sat in a room tweaking knobs, learning how things worked, trying to solve whatever problem came up that day or that week or that month. And because of that, the rest of my life tended to suffer. And if you go back and listen to my episode number 3, it really led to a really dark place in my life at the time, until I started to dig my way out of that. And I think a lot of people can probably relate to that feeling of constantly being in your own little path, your own little blinded area, and being completely oblivious to the stuff surrounding you and the other issues in your life. And honestly, I see this not just in myself, but some other friends in my life, where this is just a natural thing people tend to do, is when you have problems in other areas of your life, you tend to gravitate towards the one thing you're good at or the one thing you love to do. And you use that as a coping mechanism. That's why workaholics are workaholics a lot of times, as a coping mechanism for the other things going wrong in your life. Instead of addressing those things, it's easier to just focus on what you're good at and what you love to do. And that can cause so many problems in your life. And I'm not one to sit and like point the finger at people, because I'm the same way, but it's definitely something to be aware of. And until you're aware of that problem, you're going to have a very tough time solving that problem.